3. Mobile foundations. This is where a lot of otherwise good apps fall apart because they were designed on a big screen for a big screen. If the mobile experience fails, users don't complain, they just leave. So let's design for the phone first. Let this number sink in. For many applications, 70 to 90% of traffic comes from phones. So when you design desktop only and tell yourself you'll handle mobile later, understand what you're really saying. For the majority of your users, the mobile version isn't a nice to have, it is the entire product. And right now it's broken. The fix is a mindset flip. Most people design desktop first, then try to squeeze it down to tablet and mobile at the end, and mobile always loses. Flip it. Start with mobile as the core experience where space is tightest and decisions are hardest, then expand up to tablet and desktop. When you design for the hardest constraint first, scaling up is easy. 4 practical rules for touch. 1. Bigger touch targets. Minimum 44 by 44 pixels because people tap with fingers, not a mouse pointer. 2. Prefer vertical, stacked layouts over complex horizontal ones. 3. Readable text, 16 pixels and up, no tiny fonts. 4. Lean on AI for responsiveness. Just ask it to make the page work cleanly across mobile, tablet, and desktop. Let's put numbers on the word responsive. You don't need dozens of breakpoints. 3 buckets cover almost every device. Mobile, 0 to about 640 pixels. 1 column, bottom nav, full width buttons. Tablet, up to about 1024. 2 columns, a little more room. Desktop, above that, multi-column, top nav and hover comes back into play. And remember the direction. Design at the smallest width first, then let each larger breakpoint add space and columns. You build up, you never cram down. Let's make this real. This is a live demo. Same screen, 2 views. Watch what happens when I switch from mobile to desktop. The layout goes from a single column with bottom navigation to a multi-column layout with a top nav bar. And watch the touch target toggle. When I enforce the 44 pixel rule, the button grows to a comfortable thumb-friendly size. This is responsive, mobile-first thinking in action, not just theory. Toggle the views and the switch as you talk. Here's a concept that quietly separates good mobile design from great. Look at how a hand actually holds a phone. The bottom third is the easy reach. Your thumb lives there. The middle is a stretch. The top corners are genuinely hard one-handed. So put your primary actions and your navigation in that bottom zone and keep important buttons out of the top corners. This isn't a style opinion, it's ergonomics. And it's the real reason bottom navigation feels so natural on a phone. 2 navigation patterns, 2 different jobs. Bottom navigation is best for apps where people switch frequently between a few top-level destinations. Dashboards, social productivity apps. It sits right under the thumb. Drawer navigation is better for deep, complex systems and admin panels where you need to hide a lot of sections to keep the screen clean. Pick the one that matches how often people switch, not just what looks nice. These 5 are the mistakes I see most often in AI-generated mobile layouts, so learn them by sight. Fixed pixel widths that overflow small screens, tap targets that are tiny and crammed together, actions hidden behind hover, which simply doesn't exist on touch, horizontal scrolling from wide tables, and text below 16 pixels that nobody can read without pinching. Here's the honest test. Open your app on a real phone, not a narrow browser window. It's always a little humbling and always worth it. Now, how do you actually get from a web app to something in the App Store? There's a path. Start as a web app. Make it responsive. Turn it into a PWA, installable and offline capable. Then, if you truly need native, wrap it in React Native or Flutter. And finally, ship to the store. The key message, you don't skip steps. And honestly, most apps can live happily as a responsive PWA long before they ever need to go native. And here's how you make that future migration painless. Structure your code now so it's ready. Keep business logic separate from the UI. Keep your API layer separate from your components. Keep reusable components separate from pages. When those three are decoupled, swapping a web front end for a native one becomes a port, not a painful